Very excited for the weekend. Very excited that our attendance has been opened up some, and we'll have more Gamecock fans out here this weekend. And just excited to see some great SEC baseball. Two top 10 teams going at it. This is what it's all about. This is why we all come here and want to be a part of it. So just real excited for it, and our team will be prepared to play, and we'll see how it goes. But we'll be ready to go.
All right, if you have a question, please raise your hand on the raise hand function, and we'll start with David.
Hey, Mark, thanks for doing this. Is the pitching rotation still the same for this weekend?
Yeah, we'll stay with the same three guys.
And also, how is Thomas handling this? I mean, it's not like he's been pitching badly, but you know, he gets the winner, the loss, and then those last 3 Friday nights hadn't gone his way.
He's a mature kid, and you know what we want to make sure he understands is that it's not all on him. It's a group effort. You win as a team, you lose as a team, and he's given us opportunities to win. He can be better. He knows that. We know that, but he's our guy, and it's a matter of if we do a little bit better job offensively and we do a little bit better job on the mound with him, and I think he will. He'll get better, and he's had some great moments for us and helped us win some big games. Just a matter of things improving a little bit and getting where they need to be, and I think we'll be happy with the results.
John Whittle.
Yeah, at times some of your starting pitchers have had some problems walking guys, and Arkansas is one of the best in the league at that. Is that a point y'all emphasize at all going into the week about how they're going to be patient and battle up there at the plate?
Yeah, I mean, it's whether a team is patient or not, you still want to attack the strike zone, and that's an emphasis. And 75% of what you do in baseball is focusing on yourself. And if we throw strikes, if we pound the strike zone, then that forces the other team to have to swing the bat more and not be able to be patient. So we'll focus on what we need to do, and I think we've settled into a pretty good spot. Our strikeout to walk ratios have really gotten to a good spot, and I don't expect that to change.
Colin Taylor.
Mark, obviously Arkansas's offense gets a lot of the headlines. What have you seen from that group, and how tough as a challenge is that going to be for this group of pitchers? You've obviously been pretty high on that, lived up to expectations.
Well, it's a good offense. They've got a lot of lefties in that lineup they can throw at you. They're athletic. They have some strength. Obviously, they have a lot of power numbers. So it'll be a nice challenge. But again, you can shy away from a challenge, or you can try to attack a challenge, and that's what we'll do. It'll be really good pitching versus really good hitting, and it'll be great competition.
Go next to Bob Holt from the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
Hey, Mark, how are you today?
Hey, Bob.
Just looking at your stats, and I've gotten to see you guys on TV a few times. Your starting pitchers are pretty impressive. What would you say about your rotation as a group?
Well, they're guys that have really good stuff. They're competitors. They're winners, and they like having the ball. And so, again, we know we've got a great opponent coming in this weekend, and I think they're anxious to test themselves against what is one of the best offenses in the country. So, again, to answer your question, guys with really good stuff, guys that want the ball, and guys that had good composure out there.
And I heard you said on the radio last night there was a possibility of a Friday doubleheader because of a lot of rain forecast for Saturday. When do you guys make a call on that? Is that totally your call? Do you have to do that sort of in consultation with Arkansas and the SEC, or how does that work? And when do you have to make a call on that, whether or not you play two on Friday?
Well, Dave Van Horn and I have already discussed. We texted yesterday. We've already talked on the phone today, and we've talked about some of the different options. And you never force feed the opponent, hey, here's what we're going to do. I think you give the opponent the respect to say, let's try to make the best decision we can for everybody involved, teams, fans, etc. So it is a possibility based on our weather that we could play two on Friday. We'll continue to monitor the weather. And Dave and I will be in constant contact.
And then both South Carolina and Arkansas had to play doubleheaders Saturday. So I'm not real good at math, but I think if there is a Friday doubleheader, you guys would be playing 6 SEC games in 9 days, and usually it's 10. And Arkansas, I think, would be doing it in 7 days. Just how does that tax, pitching staffs? Because you obviously have a lot of big SEC games left. You got the tournament. You hope you have a long NCAA run. Just how do you manage the pitching staff in a situation like that where you guys don't have their normal rest?
Well, yeah, you want to make sure you don't overuse guys. You want to make sure you guys keep guys on feasible pitch counts still. And we'll do that. And I'm sure Arkansas will do that. I think it will test the depth of pitching staffs if we do have to play that many innings in a short amount of time. None of us are going to put our pitchers in harm's way. And maybe you'll see some guys that haven't pitched as much up to this point get some opportunities. And I think, again, it's another challenge. We're in the year of COVID right now, so nobody's going to feel sorry for us, and we're not going to feel sorry for ourselves or complain about anything. We're just going to say, when they tell us to play baseball, let's go play baseball.
Yeah, ask got one more if it's okay. Wes Clark, 15 dingers. I think that leads the league. I don't know where it has to rank pretty high nationally too, I would think. What kind of player is he, and just what do you think of the season he's putting together for y'all?
He's had a nice season. He's been a little bit inconsistent as of late. We need to get more production out of him within the league, which I think we will. I think the game will settle and level back out for him. But he's a strong guy, hits in the middle of our lineup. Very important part of our offense.
Thank you.
Go Joe Gorchow next.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to
Hey,
follow
Joe.
back with hope you're doing well. I wanted to follow
Thank you.
back up with Thomas Farr. You mentioned he's got to do the little things just a little bit better. Can you be more detailed about that for a guy going into a big start tomorrow? When you mentioned the crowd, there's going to be more people in there, so the intensity is going to ramp up just a little bit.
I mean, the big thing for him is just trust your stuff. You're going to hear the same cliches that you hear about every pitcher at every level. He's got really good stuff. He just needs to trust it. Starting with the Florida series, his command has not been quite as sharp. And we've talked to him about that. You know, is it a physical thing? Is it a mental thing? Is it trying to do too much? I think he'll be in a good place come game one. And we have a lot of confidence in Thomas. But the big thing is just minimizing the free passes. When he's not giving up free passes, when he's not starting rallies for teams. The Missouri, he gave up a bases loaded triple, but he had helped the opponent get the runners on base there. When he doesn't do that is when he has his best success.
Go Greg
Hey, Coach,
Hadley next.
Yeah,
Oh.
just one more quick follow.
No,
Coach, just
Joe,
with-
we can give the local guy as many questions as they want here.
Well, Coach, I was just going to ask, I know it hasn't dictated whether or not you've won or lost a series, but just in your mind against a great Arkansas team, just how important really is it tomorrow in a 3-game set to try to set that tone and get that game one win to start off the weekend?
I mean, Joe, again, one of the things that we keep going back and forth to is just 1-0. And we're going to try to go 1-0 in game one. And if we do, great. The next day, we're going to come out and try to go 1-0 again. And if we don't win game one, so far in the league this year, we've gone 9-1 on Saturday and Sunday in games 2 and 3. So it's 30 individual games, and you want to win the series if you can, because that sounds nice in public and in the media and all that and in the rankings, but it's 30 individual games, and you just have to come out to play each game as its individual entity.
Greg. Greg.
Hey, Mark. I mean, just looking at those Friday games, you mentioned the need for kind of maybe some more. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Just the need for more run support for Thomas. I guess what is the key for your lineup getting that? Obviously, you're going up against the best that each team has to offer on those Friday games.
Yeah. I mean, again, you need to find ways to get on base. You need to find ways to get big hits. I mean, it's baseball. It's good pitching usually beats good hitting. And Friday night we're facing major league pitchers, and people keep asking, what is the different approach in game 3 compared to game 1? There is no different approach. You do the same things, but the guy that's on the mound tends to have a big impact on how much success you have. One of my favorite quotes ever is Tim Carver talking about Bob Gibson. And he used to tell Bob Gibson he was the luckiest pitcher in baseball because every time he pitched, the other team didn't score. There's a reason for that. Because he's pretty darn good. So, look, we just need to keep battling. We're going to face elite Friday night future major league pitchers, and we just need to keep getting better and finding different ways to attack them.
Go Mitch Brown next.
Hey, Coach, with the
Hey,
recent announcement of you guys getting some more fans in the stands here come this Thursday afternoon, how excited are you to see it get a little bit more back to a sense of normalcy in Founder's Park? Obviously, you guys really haven't missed a beat with a limited capacity there, though.
Yeah, all these big wins we've had, it's going to be more exciting in the future when we win games to have more people to celebrate it with us. You know, we've had some big wins and it's been, you know, a limited capacity. And so with more Gamecock fans there to celebrate when we do win, I just think it'll be fun for us, fun for them, and getting closer, as you said, to normalcy. It's not all the way back there, but I think everybody feels like we're moving in that direction.
Tom?
Mark, you've hit the midway point of SEC play. I'm curious, what have you learned about your team through the first 15 games, and what do you want to see improve on over the last back half?
Well, I want to continue to see us get on base at a better rate. We're hitting for power, you know, as well as just about anybody in the country. So that's a big thing. Our pitching has been as good as advertised for the most part all year. Our defense has been very solid for the most part all year. So I think the biggest thing is to just get more consistency pitching and offensively on Friday nights. But what I've learned is that this is a group of fighters. This team will never give in. This team doesn't panic if things get tough, or, you know, we had a losing streak and then we had a huge winning streak after that. So this is a team that loves to play. It's a team that comes out to fight and loves to compete.
And David Mendham's obviously been pretty hot as of late. What have you seen just offensively from him? And do you anticipate him being in that cleanup role to protect Wes a little bit like he was in game two of the doubleheader Saturday?
Yeah, there's probably a good chance he'll be there. He's made nice adjustments as the season has gone on. He's a junior college hitter, so the leap in competition from where he was to where he is now is big. And so you want to see hitters that are able to make adjustments and tweak things and adjust to the speed and the secondary pitches, and what do you need to do to put the ball in play that you used to get away with that you can't get away with anymore. So in my mind, his biggest asset is that he has been able to make adjustments and be a key hitter for us.
John?
I need you to help make some sense of a couple of stats for me.
I'll do my best, John.
You're second in the SEC in batting average with runners in scoring position, 13th in the SEC in converting opportunities with runners on third base with less than 2 outs. How does that come to pass, and how do you get that second statistic up a little bit higher?
Well, clearly it's just because we have great clutch hitting practices and drills that we work on. That's obviously the key there. We have better clutch hitting drills than anybody else in the country.
Are you writing the book on that right now?
Yeah. Obviously that's what it is. No, in all seriousness, I just think, you know, sometimes it's a small sample size. In baseball terms, we're talking about small sample sizes. Those are SEC stats you're talking about right now, or is that the full season?
SEC stats.
I mean, you're talking about 15 games. That's a extremely small sample size in baseball terms. So, you know, I think we have good hitters, and right now the trend is that when they get opportunities, they're taking advantage of them. So, you know, hopefully it continues that we keep doing a good job of getting runners in when we get opportunities, and, you know, we'll see. But again, a lot of it is a small sample size. Who do you face? Have you faced the best in the league? Have you faced not the best in the league? Have you faced a combination? It's a little bit random at this point, in my opinion.
Bob?
Okay, sorry. Guess I had wax in my ears or something there. Hey, Arkansas got 70 home runs that lead the nation, and you know I think they hit 8 against Pine Bluff. So some of those numbers are a little skewed. But just wonder what you think of that. A lot of coaches have talked about their depth of their lineup, and then Dave always hasn't been happy with his pitching. Which, you know, I know a lot of coaches probably feel that way. But what do you think about their depth of their hitting, and then what have you seen from their pitching?
Well, they're going to have good pitching. They always do. They're always going to have a very talented roster. They work very hard in recruiting, and so you know, they will always have good pitching, and they'll always be very talented offensively. I mentioned earlier they're a lineup that throws a lot of lefties at you. They're a lineup that has power. They're a lineup that is athletic enough to steal bases. I'm familiar with 2 of those guys on a personal level, and Robert Moore and Opitz, the catcher. From USA Baseball. So it's a very talented team. I mean, that's what it comes down to. They're very talented.
Thanks.